Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Destiny. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can see from the title, we're going to be filming a drugstore makeup routine. I know I love my name brands, I love those products, but it's always good to have a drugstore routine that is affordable and things that you can kind of run through a little bit more, if that makes sense. But very excited for this one. It's been a minute since I've dabbed into some of these, but they are literally like my staples, and some of these I use all the time. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and as you can see, we are in a little different setting. I'm literally on the floor in my room. Yeah, I wanted to just like switch up the scenery. I feel like the lighting was better here, and I wanted to try to do this in natural lighting, even though it's literally towards the end of the day now. We'll see. Let me know if you guys are digging this. I don't know, maybe the quality is actually trash and I'm just like, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, I have my little clippies here. Hopefully they work this time. Sometimes these things be giving me a run for my money. Alright, so first things first, we are going to go in with e.l.f. Grip Primer. It's called the Power Grip. It is in this kind of like honey, is what I like to compare it, consistency. And I already made sure like my face was moisturized. And I'm just gonna apply this all over. I love how it feels. It feels so moisturizing, but also, like I said, it's almost like applying a very thin layer of honey. And I use honey because then it makes it seem like the primer is titled. It's like gonna grip your makeup and all your makeup will stay in place. So we love that. We really love that. Next, I'm going to go in and spoolie my, like, I don't know if you guys are, should you guys be a little bit closer to moi? Okay, I feel like this is better, right? Let's hope. Okay, so don't mind my hair, guys. I'm gonna spoolie my brows up. The shape of them are giving kind of something weird. Because this is drugstore, the only thing that I don't really have a good one of is my pencil. This is more of like my backup pencil, but this is a NYX eyebrow powder pencil, and I'm going to go in and give my eyebrows some shape. Fill her in a little bit. Lightly, and as you can see, I'm really more focusing on the ends. Do the same for this side. Do you guys also have like a bad brow? I don't want to call it a bad brow, but it just does not do what you told it to do. And it's like the other brow is, it's a clear winner that it's very much superior. Those are my brows for me. Like this one always does what it needs to do. This one, up in the air. Now that we have the brows, I'm going to go in with foundation. I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me. This is the Matte and Poreless in shade 335. I'm just gonna pour a little bit on the back of my hand here. I'm honestly just gonna take my finger and apply this to my face. Start with less, and I can always build if I need to. Then this brush, I love this brush. It's an e.l.f. buffing brush. I'm gonna go in and actually, I'm like, what do I wanna do here? Because do I want to do this instead? instead, okay, well, as you can see, I was gonna go with my buffing brush, but it looks like I'm going in with, this is a Morphe brush, so I guess technically doesn't, but I'm just going to drag this, and it gives me just like a nice layer. It's a very nice layer. And drag that down a little bit. Love, love, love. And I love how the foundation applies over the primer. So I'm trying to blend that out. And I also forgot to do this, but I'm gonna take this little brush and I'm going to blend out the edges of my concealer. Then I'm going to go back in with a little bit of concealer, that same concealer I used under my brows, and I'm going to apply that under my eye here. Whoops. And I know a lot of the girlies like aren't really into under eye coverage, but I believe in under eye coverage. And I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean like I want to cover up under my eye. So yeah. Your makeup can still come out looking, you know, soft and not crazy, still using product. And I feel like sometimes people blur the two of like a soft, nice glam. You gotta use some product, you know? So. Take this, apply it. As you can see, I'm just highlighting all the areas of my face, chin, under here, and then I'm taking this, doing this, and I want to take this and use it to kind of, I don't really put concealer like on its own on the top of my brow, but I'm going to use this to kind of cheat and outline my brow. Using this concealer. And that's another thing about me too, like, I don't know, I can't really get into the big fluffy brow trend. I'm sorry, it's just not working for me. I like a good thin snatched brow, unfortunately, so. Whoopsie. I think I just made that a little too thin, but she'll do. And I love an arched brow. That I do. All right, so now that we have that, I'm gonna take this and just blend out a little bit of the edges, but I wanna let the concealer die down just a little bit. I'm gonna take the LA Girl in the, I believe it was porcelain shade, and now I can't find her. There it is. I'm gonna put a little bit more of that and other concealer to mix and get concealer for my nose. Lovely. I like it to be a little bit brighter on my nose. For some reason, like, you just can't really see it that well. But so now I'm just gonna go in. Like I said, I want to let this dry down just a little bit. I feel like you have more control when you let the makeup dry down, and it doesn't like slide all over the place. You can kind of really just do what you want to do with it. And I don't know if I already said that this is a Real Techniques brush, so another drugstore find. A lot of my brushes, honestly, like my favorite ones are Real Technique brushes. Like, do not sleep on those. One thing I've really never been a fan of, unless it's like really good brush, is spending like overspending on a brush. Like there's so many good brushes you can get like for the low. So just working that in, bringing that up a little bit. Did want to contour the nose, but I guess we'll do that after. Okay, I needed to wet my beauty blender a little bit so that I can blow this bad boy out. My nose. But now I'm gonna go in and blend out under this eye here with the beauty blender to really blend. Now that we've kind of let it dry down a little bit, bring it up my nose a little bit. Keep saying a little bit. And I like a bright under eye, so I hope this is giving bright under eye. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Okay, so let's do a little bit of contour. I'm going in with another OG. I've had this probably too many years. It's probably not like even safe to use. But this is the NYX Conceal Correct Contour Palette. This, especially if you're beginning, this has like everything that you need. But I'm gonna take a little bit of these two shades here and contour. Might be a little dark, but it's okay. Take some here, take some there, and then some dots on my forehead. Whoops. You can even carve out a little bit under your lip if you want a little bit more of a lip, a natural lip, what is that called? Contour. Jeez Louise. Don't know where all of my verbiage is going. But okay, so I'm gonna take this little brush here and we are just going to start blending this bad boy out. And I want to work it kind of in this hollow here. Work it back up into the brow. Create my little button nose. And the one thing that I will say, like these products, because I have some products that I don't know, when it comes to my nose, they just don't glide. But this NYX, the consistency is top tier. Like, it really is. Like the way it just applies like a butter. I'm like, yes. Yes, ma'am. All right, so we're blending that down and I'm gonna go in with this other Real Techniques brush and blend out the rest. And as you can see, I'm kind of taking it like a U shape, because I do want to create that effect of that just snatched jaw, snatched chin, everything's snatched. I'm gonna work this contour up into the skin. And then can't forget that a little bit. Under here, oh, snatch the jaw. Just make sure that you don't forget about that stuff, because if you've ever been out and like your neck wasn't blended out, oh my gosh. It'd be so embarrassing, like truly very embarrassing. Now, everyone's probably looking at that ring top of my forehead. I'm gonna go back with my foundation brush and start blending those areas between the contour and my concealer. And I'm just gonna kind of work it in this back and forth to kind of create that gradient blend. Honestly, probably take some of this in even more. I have a big forehead, so there's a lot of space to work with, and I like to contour that baby down, you know? Lovely. Okay, so for my under eye though, just gonna comb it out just a little bit more. Like I could use a little bit more highlight on the bridge of my nose. A little bit. I'm gonna add just a little bit of kind of that lighter concealer into just the very corner of my eye. Just a little bit. And I want to keep it there, but I also am going to try to work the concealer up my nose a little bit. Now that everything seems blended, I'm gonna go back in my beauty blender and make sure though, just blend out everything. All right, now that that is all done, I might take my foundation brush and just blend out actually even a little bit more down here. Now, time to set the under eye. We are gonna go in with Maybelline Fit Me. This is in light medium. But before I do that, I'm just gonna go in and make sure that I minimize as much creasing as possible. Bring that up my nose a little bit, take a fine, down the middle, chin. I want to see, of course, everywhere that I concealed, I want to go back and set wherever we highlighted. And then with any excess, I'm just going to go over lightly my whole face. We're gonna go in now with, I was hesitant, I'm like, I don't know whether to put this as drugstore makeup, but it's just a generic store brand, so it's still not like a name brand. These are just the Ulta Beauty matte finishing powders. I swear by these. We're gonna go in and use this to set my foundation and just kind of places where, like, it also kind of just adds color back into my face. So, which we love. As you can see, I'm going back in and wiping some of the areas that I have the powder setting. Just getting rid of some of the excess. Especially like on my forehead and on my nose. I don't want it to be too dry on my nose. So I'm gonna take this Real Techniques fluffy brush. I'm gonna go in with the Ulta Beauty matte finishing powder. This one's in shade Tan to Deep Warm. It's very pigmented, so if this is your first time using it, tread lightly. But I'm gonna start from kind of the ear here, and I'm just gonna work that up into the contour and down my face. Nice light patting motions. And you can see the difference. It just gives me color. And when people also ask, like sometimes when I go out, if like someone will ask me like, how do you get your makeup to look kind of just, what is that, airbrush? It's the finishing powders, like setting everything with a powder, chef's kiss. Go in, help blend this out again. Again, I'm setting everywhere where it's kind of that foundation color. Okay, I literally feel like we're racing against the clock. So now that I've set that, kind of just set all those areas. Now I want to make sure, I'm going to go back in and kind of start dusting off some of this powder. But first, as you can see, like I'm kind of pressing it in and then taking off any excess. This part looks very funny to me. Sure, but that's blended out. Okay, now we're gonna go in with bronzer. I have two bronzer here. I have the Makeup Revolution Mega Bronzer in Warm, and then I also have the, which one is this again? Rimmel one in 027 Sundance. I feel like the Sundance one is more glowy, if that makes sense, a little bit more sheer, and the Makeup Revolution one is very pigmented, definitely gonna get you very bronzed. But I'm going to start in with just a little bit of the Makeup Revolution one. Like I said, again, like a lot of these products are very pigmented, so I'm just going to start very lightly from the temples and work my way down. Just start bronzing up the face. And I'm just not trying to start with too much because, like I said, it's easier to build than have to try to take away. So I always feel like I'm doing something when I do this. Like, does anyone else agree? I don't know why it's habit. It's so annoying, but it's like literally a habit of mine. Like I always feel like though I'm doing something serious, you know? I'm gonna take this. I like to just literally just kind of take it in. An outline. And then also just kind of bronze that all together. A very nice bronzed nose. I think that's looking really good. I'm gonna go in just a little bit of the Rimmel top. So I feel like it gives me like a nice glow. I'm not gonna use too much. So I like how that's looking. Now, I like to go in and kind of set the concealer parts. Like I said, I like to go back in and set just everything. I know we set it with the loose finishing powder, but I like to set it with an actual like pigmented powder. So I'm gonna go in with that other Ulta Beauty one in Tan Warm. And I'm just gonna kind of go in and set all the places that I had concealer. And what this is going to do, it's not only going to allow for like a very airbrushed finish, but it also kind of helps just make sure that everything is blended out. Like, I don't even know if you can tell the difference, maybe not, but I see the difference. And there is an actual difference, but I literally just go in and take it all over. I like to start on the outside and then kind of just work my way in. Now she's bronzed, she's set. I guess we can go in with a little bit of eyeshadow, aka bronzer and blush, but let's start with the bronzer. I'm gonna just take a fluffy brush and I'm literally gonna start with that Ulta Beauty shade that I was just using to kind of just warm up the lid for a transition. Like this foundation on my lips looks crazy. Okay, just put a little bit of bronzer in my lid. Just gonna kind of work that. Just kind of work that into the crease. But I am putting a little bit here to hollow that out. Contour. Nothing crazy. Now I'm gonna go in with some blush. I have two blushes. I have the Makeup Revolution palette, which is literally this is my, well, this guy right here was my go-to blush for like any makeup routine I did, but as you can see, RIP. I also have the Milani blush in Luminoso. It gives me a very like glowy look, and as you can tell, it's a little bit more of an orangey pink, definitely a little bit more peachy. So I like to kind of mix the two. That one's also a little bit more of a sheer, but I'm gonna start with going in with a little bit of this pink here. And I'm just gonna start from the temples. As you can see, I like to start everything from the temples and then work my way up, placing that blush on the apples of my cheek. I'm a blush girl, so I like a lot of blush, and I also feel like you could be applying blush, but then as soon as you leave the house for some reason, it's like, where did your blush go, you know? So my forehead, my chin, I'm just kind of like placing all of that product everywhere. It just makes everything always look very flawless, and as a unit, I like to even try to drag some of that on this under eye part to help blend it. I just be going OD with the blush, like I don't care really. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of that Luminoso one and pack that on top. And that's just gonna give me a nice glowy finish. Now we can take this little highlighter brush, and I'm actually just gonna take a little bit of this blush color and put a little dot on my nose and a little bit up here. Like that even, what am I doing? So little that I'm like, could even put any. A little highlight. Put the rest in here if I wanted to. And then I'm going to take this little bit more condensed brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the blush colors. I'm going to apply that in my crease as well, and that's going to give just that very uniformed look, like everything just using the same colors and everything is just very simple. And nothing looks like really harsh, you know? All right, we have that in the crease. I could go in with a little bit of bronzer slash blush under my eye, which I always feel like makes for a cuter look. If I can find the bowl. Take this little guy here. I'm gonna take a little bit of bronzer. And I'm gonna take a little bit of blush and just kind of smoke this out a little bit. Nothing too crazy, very subtle, but I feel like it adds something, you know? Really, that's honestly it. Like, I feel like we're liking it. It's looking good. I feel like one brow is looking just a little bit sharper than the other one. Where did my brow pencil go? We can just round this out a little bit. Oh wow. This is pretty much it. We could do a little bit of liner. This eyeliner is literally my favorite. It's NYX, which one is this? Epic Ink Liner. I feel like it is perfect for me. Should we add a little bit of liner? Why not? I might mess this up, but we're not gonna do anything crazy. Just add a little flick of the wrist here. We're gonna do the same on this side. Okay, added literally just the smallest of flicks of eyeliner, and then let's just add some mascara. I'm going in with Maybelline Great Lash. I guess I could have set my face, but whoa. A little bit of mascara, but just the tiniest bit on my lower lash. Do I want to do a lip? Like, I don't know, you guys. Normally I would take a Q-tip for this step, but I have a paper towel right here, so I'm gonna be lazy. And I'm gonna take this makeup off of my lip. Then we will just go in with, let's see, we're gonna go in this NYX Downtown Beauty. I think this is what this one is. And I'm gonna literally, this is down to the mark. cover lip liner, and then maybe just add some gloss, honestly. I don't really care too much about the lip, but that was the NYX liner, and then this is just the Maybelline gloss. Try to blend that out. I feel like I should add a little bit of pink somewhere, but okay, that was the wrong pink, but well, you guys, honestly, that is the final look, and my light is going down. So I'm going to wrap up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to link the products that I use in the description box below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.